My little sister came back correct. Look at these nails. They're magical. Look at that. Oh, they're beautiful with the lights on, but they are something else with the lights off. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I created this fun, it's a fun and cute set. And I enjoy doing this. It's on my little sister. We haven't seen her in a minute. She's been MIA, but she's back. This set was inspired by nails.by_J. You see that on the picture. This was our previous set. It was a lightning set. And would you believe this set, I believe, is 6 weeks? I swear it's 9 weeks old because she's missed 2 appointments. It's between 6 and 9 weeks old. I want to say 6. So I didn't record her fill or me removing anything like that. It's kind of same thing. Kind of forgot. Kind of just don't be mad at me and don't thumbs down. So you guys see me do fills multiple times. All her nails were in such a beautiful condition. Oh my goodness, you wouldn't believe they lasted so long. So I'm painting, just starting off with the black portions of this first. I'm using Perfect Black from Madam Glam, and you can use discount code Tabitha when shopping at Madam Glam. Has a beautiful discount, or you can click the link below. I'm using Elegance's primary black gel paint for the artwork. I'm also using their primary white gel paint, but I didn't put that in. And I'm using the Wildflowers Glow pigment in White Glow. And then I am starting off, I drew some flames. I don't know why I didn't like them, but I erased them. I removed them. And then we're going back in and drawing these flames. I said it before, you guys see me do these flames so many times, different variations, kind of similar style, same principle in the artistry. You kind of started off by drawing S's in a way, like very spread out loose S's, one backwards, one forward, connect them. And then you see me slowly kind of blending those shapes, pulling their figures together, and just even them out, bulking them up where it needs to be. I'm always going to tell you guys to have a reference photo. Find somebody who, flames that you like, somebody who drew them on nails. It doesn't even have to be on nails. You can go on Google Photos and find something that you like, and then put that as a reference. You have a reference photo next to you. Put it, open up your phone, put it next to you, and look at the fine details and see what makes it look like it, whatever it may be. You guys heard me say this spiel more than one time, but I also know we got a lot of new subscribers. Hey to all my new subscribers. So that's just a little tip, and it's not, it's not mind-blowing, but I mean, some people don't even think of that. So bust open your phone, find a picture you like, find a set you like, and see what makes, like I said, whatever you're trying to imitate look the way it does. Sometimes it's little fine details. It's balances with this. I would say make sure your it's very fluid and rounded. All your angles are not sharp or anything like that. You want to keep everything very curvy and no harsh, sharp angles. Also, you guys have said my allergies, so excuse me. I'm powering through this. I want this up for you, so if you hear me sniffling or sounding out of breath, disclaimer, I have to tell you guys, for somebody says something, that's what's going on. So I'm just using the brush I'm using. I believe it's the Poochie's Nails brush. You might find more success with a brush that has that isn't quite as long. To be honest, It's better to, I didn't say better. It can be easier to draw more curvy shapes with shorter brushes. So if you're having a little bit of difficult time with this and you're using a long striping brush like I am, I should have switched mine so I'm not like above the law. I'm not so talented that I can use whatever brush. No. In retrospect, I probably should have switched it and had an easier time drawing, you know, these little flames. And I kept these. I mean, it feels like they all look the same, but these were kind of just slightly different than what I usually do. They kind of went higher, had longer space between the flames. And yeah, so we went ahead and cured that. And then we're going to go ahead and draw the French on this nail. This is a deeper French. I generally like to take it where the free edge starts, near the sidewalls, and kind of bring it in. At that point, I'm just trying to determine how narrow or wide we want that French to be. Do we want it to be... I'm trying to think of something I can compare it to. You know, you gotta see what's happening. Do you want it to be, like close together, more narrow? I already said the right word. You want to be more narrow, you want to be more wide. Boom. So I'm just kind of balancing that out and seeing how I want it. And I'm just kind of moving in the line as I see. I'll take her hand. I don't show it on camera, and I flip it over where her palm is facing up and the back of her hand is facing me. And then make sure it's even from left to right and it looks as symmetrical as possible. I went ahead and cured that first. Make sure that's cured and locked in and ready to go. And then I'm going in and drawing this little second kind of arch line that's mimicking the French. And this seems very innocent. It seems very innocent of a thing to do. And I would like to tell you that it was dangerous. No, it wasn't dangerous. It was difficult. It was time consuming. It was tedious is what it was. Because you may not, it doesn't seem like it, but what you're having to take in account for is one, making sure standalone, that this little arch U thing, it's freestanding. You have to make sure it looks balanced in width from the left side to the right side. That, for example, if it's 3 millimeters across, if we were to literally measure it, we want to make sure that it's the same from left to right, that it starts and executes at the same or close to the same spot in the nail, as far as like where it ends at the side, you know what I'm saying? Like where I'm working on right now to make sure that it's symmetrical on the other side. You also want to make sure that the arch is similar to what the original French that we previously drew on is. You want it, like I said, to mimic it. It would kind of look weird if it didn't. I mean, it could be another style, but that's not what we're going for. So it seems very like a non-issue, but this took some time to get together. Please. And that's another side conversation that some people will come in, you'll know if you're a nail tech, and some people will come in and be like, yeah, I just want something, and it seems simple to them. I'm like, yeah, no, somebody like, I just want a nice deep French, deep white French at that. Just something simple. I'm like, yeah, no, you just changed my whole day. So I'm just comparing them just to make sure that they look something alike. I ended up touching up the one on the right, made it a little wider through the middle. You can see it's kind of different. It's not as wide. Trying to make them look as close as possible. We're not going to get them perfect, but we're going to get them close. So I'm using the, like I said, the white gel paint from like Elegance, and I'm actually using the Bambina, the Presto Bambina art liner brush. And I really like this product, but I ran out. But I do like the brush, so I was dipping it into the gel paint, as I mentioned. And so I am just drawing on this little crescent moon. The moons also gave me, I won't say a hard time. They were just kind of, again, a little something that looks simple. And maybe for you it will be and is. I haven't done a lot of like crescent moons. Seems very innocent, but I wanted to get it balanced, make sure it looked realistic, make sure it wasn't looking like a banana, make sure that, the curvature wasn't, too shallow, wasn't too deep, that we didn't make it look like just a C on the nail. So it was things it seemed simple. It was things I was taking into consideration that really mattered to me. And, these didn't have to be, I didn't feel like 100% perfect. Kind of went with the aesthetic a little bit. So, but I needed for it to translate at the very least. So you can see how I'm drawing this lens. I call it a lens flare, this star, but it's not really a star, like a 5-point star. Can we call it a 4-point star maybe? So I drew that. And while it is still wet, I dumped the glow pigment and had her cured in the light. So then I'm repeating this process. I like to use a dotting tool to draw this. It makes it really simple to draw a dot. And then just drag out to left, right, up, down. That's it. That's the simple way to do it. And just kind of balance out the size of your dot with how far you bring out your little star arms, if that's a word. And I did, shame on me, I've been using the same dotting tool if you've been around, same exact one for some years. Out of nowhere, I recalled that this was one of a pack of like 4 or 5. 4 years I've been using this, trying to make all different size dots, especially smaller ones or like bigger ones, just all different sizes. And then, like I said, out of nowhere, I just remembered, oh, snap, wasn't this part of a pack? I feel so silly. So at some point in this process, I realized that, and I switched to the other one, to a smaller one, so I could get like different variations. Because I'm trying to kind of use different angles of the dotter with less product to make smaller dots. Because I didn't want to be so big. And then I realized you can make just little ones of these very simply. Because I was like, how am I going to fit another one in here? I don't want just one. That seems kind of lame. So I was able, like I said, this is a very simple thing to draw and for it to come across. So while this is still wet, I went ahead and dumped this pigment on there. I just tap her finger to tap off the excess and then put that in the light. Now then I dust it off once it cures. The Madame Glam Black, I want to speak to that. It doesn't have a tacky layer, so I kind of wiped it off, but you didn't really need to. And then I topped with the Velveteen, the Luxa Velvet Matte Top Coat. And then I just repeated this process. And this is the final look, you guys. I know this is a short and sweet video. Don't be mad at me. Still give me my thumbs up. Still subscribe if you're new here. Make sure you turn on the notifications. Ring the bell so you know when I upload. And just thank you guys for watching. This set took me so much time for no reason. But like I said, those little arches were tedious. Should have used a smaller brush. Those moons gave me a little bit of a time. But look how cool this looks. It translates so well in video. In photo, it's kind of weird, but it's okay. I want to thank you guys for watching. Bye.